All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. No, it is not about phones. It is about my Apple Watch SE and how excited I am for this watch. So I did an upgrade from my previous generation watch, which took a severe fall and it cracked all on the top. So it's just sitting on the desk over there. Still have the Apple Watch Series 5. Don't use it. Battery life's not good. So with this watch, I did actually place an order for the Ultra. They actually had one I could pick up. It was exactly what I wanted, the dark blue band. It was nice. However, once I started doing some research, and I thought, I'm looking at people report 3 days of battery. So for me, I'll probably get about the same. Pretty much it's consistent across the board, pretty much with the Ultra. But after that, people are just reporting how good the battery is. I don't know anybody that's using it that's gone deep sea diving or doing any of the things that watch is actually meant for. So they really got it for the 49 display, 49 millimeter display, and they got it for the battery, sounds like, in the new design, I guess. Because at some point, Apple's going to have to discount that watch, or they're going to make another version of it, and maybe that's when I'll get it. But I don't buy Apple Watches like that. I still have my original Apple Watch cellular, the first generation, the Series 3, and the Series 5, all of which, the battery life is not very good on it. And then one that I wore the most, the Series 3, took a nasty fall. So in comes the Apple Watch SE second generation, basically the 2022 model. Now, I didn't get the first version of this because obviously my watch was working. I don't just buy everything just to review, but I got to tell you, let me start with the conversation about battery. All the people who have the Ultra, they're getting really good battery. They're getting about 3 days, it appears. With this watch, I'm getting about 2 days, and I didn't pay $800 for the watch. Again, all the functionality of the Ultra, like the deep sea diving, just a really adventurous person, that's actually the watch for them. For the person walking around like me who doesn't go deep sea diving, may hit the water every now and then or whatever, but pretty much exercise a few times a day or sometimes once a day. Well, pretty much once a day. I exercise at least once a day, but I'm keeping track of fitness really. So I could probably use any fitness band. And you guys know Amazfit is the top of the line for me when it comes to smartwatches. I think they obviously have the best battery. They perform well, but then there are some limitations to the Amazfit GTR when it comes to working with certain phones, like with the iOS features. Some people are having trouble making phone calls, and some people are having trouble responding with text messages. So for me, just to keep it all in order, I use my Amazfit with my Z Fold 4, and pretty much any of these Android devices, and I also use it with my Apple Watch, but I have an Apple Watch, so I just keep the Apple Watch with the Apple Watch. And then I also use my Galaxy Watch 5 Pro with my Samsung devices. So when it comes to Apple, you're going to have the best integration with an Apple product. So this watch right here is an easy replacement for me because I don't like to spend a lot of money on things, and I want to keep it as basic as possible, and I want to keep it more closer to reality when it comes to the consumers watching me. More people will probably be quicker to buy this watch than to go out and spend $800 on the Ultra, because that's what I would do. So I'm always trying to give you the ins and outs of what companies are offering. So I always tell you that a company will offer you an out, and this is their out. Even the previous generation, Series 3, is still for sale, folks. You can buy the older generations of some of their watches because they're actually worth looking into. But the farthest I would go back is the current watch, which is this one right here, the SE 2022. Now, my watch gets about 2 days of battery, and it has the crash detection. Those are the two things that I think that are close enough for me to talk about with the Ultra or the Series 8. Because not a lot of people are talking about the Series 8, but the Series 8 is actually another good option. I could have gotten the Series 8, but it's what, $100 more or something like that, or something around those numbers. But I just didn't see the value there because I'm just using this for fitness and SMS, phone calls. It's already its own workout because that's what I really like about it. But I do have all these other things here that I could actually use it for, and I do. So for a person like me and those consumers out there who are not going to focus too much on trying to just have the best battery of any Apple Watch, because the respect is the Apple Watch Ultra is the best battery right now for any Apple Watch, it appears, depending on the user. But there are plenty of people reporting that the SE 2, this one right here, the latest one, is getting a day or two or more, almost 3 days of battery. So the conversation about battery life is easy for me. This was an easy one. I'm all in with it. I think it's a really good watch, and I'm glad I bought this one instead because I have all the same functionality as the other Apple Watch software. Maybe a few tweaks here and there that might be different on the Ultra, but we still get the same functionality. Now, this hardware, I think is really nice. I like how they did this. They made some improvements with the back of the watch. And then the crown is pretty much, this is the same body, but this actually weighs a little bit less than the previous generation watch. And I don't know, it's 33 grams, I think. And the other one is, it is 36. So they made it a little bit lighter, and that's probably because of the construction of the watch. And other than that, it's almost the same size and footprint. The original SE came out 2 years ago, so they've had time to improve on this and really give it what you need to get some kind of upgrade. Now, this processor inside, the chip inside, is the Apple S8, and inside the previous generation, it was the S5. This also has Bluetooth 5.3. So one thing I wanted to talk about that I made a mistake on in my other video was the music. If you go to music, you can in fact store music directly on the watch. My apologies for that. And I'll show you here. Someone pointed out to me, I don't know why, maybe it was because I had an older watch. But if you go into, where is it at here? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I gotta go to watch. Here we go. If you go into watch and then you go down to music, you can see I have tons of music stored here. And then if you go to my settings here and you go to the application or the storage, you'll see music. I have lots of music stored there. So and I'll always come back and tell you, like, if I made a mistake or something like that. But I genuinely like this watch. Again, I was intrigued to get the Ultra. I canceled my Ultra order right after I purchased it and said, no, I don't see the value there for a person like me. I don't go deep sea diving. I don't do any of the heavy intensive stuff anymore. So, I mean, maybe a swim. Nothing major like what that watch was designed for. And I'm not knocking the people who bought it, obviously. I'm just saying I don't want to spend an extra $500 or extra $600 just to say that I have 3 days of battery life, or I'm getting the new design, or I get the bigger display. It is in fact a beautiful watch. And like I said, I was intrigued by it. I was close. I actually pulled the trigger and I said, what am I doing? I'm not going to use this thing for what it's possibly meant for. So let me keep it basic and get my Apple Watch SE 2 and I'm getting about 2 days of battery, ironically enough. And I'm loving it, man. The fitness tracking on here is great for me. I like the auto workouts. Most of the time I'll start the workout that I'm going to do just to make sure it gets tracked. But if you don't, it'll guesstimate the workout it'll try to guess what you're doing. And sometimes it's gotten it wrong. Like it thinks I'm bike ride. One time I wasn't bike riding. I went for my bike ride this morning, and then I'll do the cardio later today. But I was doing cardio one time, and it thought I was running because I was so into the workout. You know, it thought I was running. I wasn't actually running. But this is my current watch face. Let's see here. This is my current watch face and how I have it set up here. So if you long press, you hit edit. Some people have asked, how'd you get the color in there? Well, you can turn it on and off right here. This is how you make it look the way I have it if you have this watch face. That's how you take away the color, because by default it comes like this. But you can go into the watch faces and you can turn that off. So I have other watch faces that look the same. Like here's one. This is basically weather, but you can turn it on. This is how they come by default. So the watch faces, you want to make sure you set your watch face for what your lifestyle is. And this is strictly about this Apple Watch. Obviously, there are plenty of Apple Watches or other watches out there that offer a whole bunch. But I'm telling you about this particular watch. And I feel like this is a good companion to my iPhone 14 Pro Max. And I think it'll be a good companion to the iPhone SE. Any of the new iPhones, I really thought about going to just a little iPhone SE, but I know that I won't like the small size after some time. So I think the farther side one, and then not also having the face unlock and stuff like that. The fingerprint reader is cool and everything on those old phones, older models or designs. But the fact of the matter is, I think I'm so used to the face unlock with Apple phones, it's just a must. So a follow up on the Apple Watch SE 2, which is basically second generation. I would suggest if you're into fitness, don't get that rubber band because they cost the same. I mean, if you like it, yeah, but I think if you're going to go ahead and, because these bands are really expensive, so you have the option to get what you want. But if you're a fitness person, or you don't have to be a fitness person, you can just be a person who wants an easy accessible band that won't just fall off like those other bands just fall off. The rubber ones, hold on. Here's my nasty broken Series 3. This band right here. This band is cool, and obviously even this is a replacement because I wanted an actual buckle, but I still have the original bands. But this band is nice and everything, but it is not. It slips off easy. I don't trust it, so I went and bought a one with an actual clasp like this to make sure it stays on. But these bands, yeah, I don't know. They're cool and everything, but I couldn't take this after a while. They don't feel good on my skin, and I just didn't like how it look. It looks cheap. It makes the watch look cheap. So yeah, I just didn't like how it looked. And it's a shame this watch took a nasty spill like that, because I probably could have traded this in and got some cash for it, but I didn't. It fell off and it only fell off of my desk. And this is the one time I didn't have Apple Care on an Apple product. Apple Care on Apple Watches is obviously super cheap. Now this can obviously be repaired, but the repair on it, no way. It's ludicrous. So this watch was an easy upgrade for me. I decided, this is an easy one for me. I'm going to go ahead and just get the Apple Watch SE 2. I'm getting fantastic battery. My fitness is tracked nice. My sleep patterns are tracked right. Everything is done right at a much lower cost. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. A couple days, well, I think about a week later. It's been a while. I don't know how long I've had this, but it's definitely been more than a couple days. But I wanted to use it for a while to make sure I gave a good test of the battery. And I don't charge every day like I was doing with the Series 3 and the Series 5. And I know those are the older watches. I know you're gonna say, Jay, those are older. But the point is, I have a lot of products that are older like this, and they still have decent battery. They get good battery on my watches, and all of my Amazfit watches. Hold on. So my Galaxy Watch 4, this watch goes about a day and a half. The Galaxy Watch 5 Pro goes about almost 3 days, which is kind of matching this Apple Watch. And then my Amazfit GTR 4, it goes 12 days or so. For none of these watches will ever match the GTR lineup. The Amazfit lineup has got to be the best for battery. And I know you have other watches out there, but I'm talking about watches that are accessible to me and you, that are in affordable price range. And yes, I know that you can get a regular fitness watch, just a strip, for like $20, and it'll probably last you for 2 months. But if you want a traditional style watch, there are options out there. And I think if you have an iPhone, this is probably going to be your best bang for buck, going with the Apple Watch SE 2022. So there it is. I like this watch, and I'm happy with my choice. Will I get the Ultra later on when the price drops? Maybe. but then that means I have to donate this to someone else in the family. That's the only way I'm going to get. I'm not just going to buy watches just to buy them. I really enjoy this watch right here. It's comfortable. The band is nice. And that's why I like the GTR 4 as well. It's got the same kind of band. It's very sleek watch, and it's just a good look. So, and folks, I have a ton of smartwatches, different brands. It's your man Jay. More testing. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.